Hello again, everybody. This is Dan Clouser, and welcome back to the Journey of My Mother's Son podcast. Joined today with my granddaughter, Lillian Lingle. Lil, thanks for joining me today. So, I want to talk to you a little bit about field hockey, softball, and some other things. So, first of all, before we start talking about sports, we're out here in your side yard. One of our camping spots when we get to Pennsylvania. What was one of the things that one of your first thoughts when you heard that me and Grandma were going to be living in an RV full time? Other than they can take me to the beach, which I know was the first thought.
Probably be safe. I hope that they're going to be safe.
Yeah.
You guys would be safe.
Yeah. Well, we certainly have been. So, but thanks for thinking of us in that way. Appreciative. But I know you are still looking forward to us taking you to the beach at some point.
Yeah.
So we're going to Knoebels next week, which isn't quite the beach, but kind of somewhere, right? So let's talk a little field hockey first. So you guys had a really good junior high season this year in field hockey. We were up here to see a couple of your games while we were staying here the last time in the spring. You were moved from defense to offense this year. And I know before your first game, you said how nervous you were, making a change and all that sort of stuff. And then you go out and have an assist and score a goal your first two games on offense. So tell me a little bit about, why were you anxious and nervous about switching positions? And then once you got on the field, from a spectator standpoint, it seemed like you adapted pretty quickly. But what helped you just kind of make that transition on the field? Because honestly, it looked like you'd been playing offense your whole life.
Well, I started out field hockey playing offense, and then I changed to defense when my one coach thought that I did better in indoor, and I haven't played offense in a while. So I was really nervous that I'd probably mess up, and because it wasn't a comfortable position yet. And then I went out on the field, and everyone just was supportive and helped people who were in different positions, and they told you hey, get up there, hey, get back, that type of stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, it's really important to have good teammates and have that support where you guys are picking up each other. And again, from an outsider standpoint, it looked like you guys had really good team chemistry out there on the field. I mean, tell me a little bit of how important that is for you. I mean, a lot of these players aren't just teammates, but they're really good friends of yours as well. So tell me how that affects you out there playing.
Well, it definitely helps because I feel comfortable. You have to trust your teammates to pass the ball to them and to know that they're going to receive it, know that they're going to try their best. But it helps a lot off the field too, with the nerves and stuff, because you can all relate.
Yeah. And how about when you guys each make a mistake? How important is it to pick each other up after something like that?
It's really important. If I made a mistake, someone would point it out, and then later after that game, we'd probably talk about it, and then they'd be like, no, it's fine, I made mistakes too, you're not perfect, everyone makes mistakes.
Yeah, that's a big part of success on a team sport, is being there during the good times and the bad times for each other. So it's pretty cool that you guys at a relatively young age are picking up on that, and will hopefully carry it off into your high school careers. So you guys finished with only 2 losses in the junior high season, is that right?
Yes.
I have that right. And 14? Were you 14-2?
Well, we had 2 ties, I think. 2 losses, 2 ties, and then it'd be 12.
12, okay. So really good season. Were you expecting to have that good of a season going into this junior high year?
No, because there were only 5 8th graders, and 2 of them had never played before, and then the one had only played indoor, and indoor is a lot different from outdoor.
Right.
And then we had really good 7th graders on our team, though.
Yeah.
but I don't think any of us expected to turn out that well.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. So now we're in the summer here. You're actually starting high school workouts. This will be your first year playing high school field hockey. But it seems like a lot of you guys, seems like your high school coach was actually very involved with the junior high program as well. So you're not really going into a completely new atmosphere. There's a little bit of a comfort zone with knowing the coach and that sort of stuff. I mean, how important is that he was involved in the junior high level, that you guys can kind of, how much easier does that make that transition as opposed to going in and playing for a coach that you've never seen before?
It definitely makes it a lot easier because I can actually talk to the coach and feel comfortable, like, hey, I don't feel well, or like, I don't know how to do this. Like, I feel like it's harder to ask questions to coaches like that I hardly know. And he also helped with like the elementary school level type stuff too. So like, I've known him the whole way up through that and with softball.
Yeah. So he really is building a program. It's not just about the high school program for him. He understands the importance of kind of having a pulse on those girls every step of the way as they go through that program, which is one of the things that I think makes the program very successful, is that he is involved in building that. So that's pretty cool. So you said that you guys are doing a lot of conditioning, a lot of weight training in the summer. Is that something new for you? I mean, I think the younger ages, it's just kind of get out there, work on skills and technical stuff and play, not a whole lot of the other strength and conditioning sort of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we've always kind of done like running and that type of stuff, but we've never ran this much. But in field hockey, it's definitely a running sport because you're running back and forth on the field all the time. And he's started this like summer program so that when we get to preseason, we aren't completely like dying and like.
Right, he's getting you in shape. He doesn't want you just sitting at the pool all summer long.
Yeah, and he completely understands if we can't make it, but he just wants us to like not completely jump into something and not understand what's happening.
Yeah. How has the attendance been for the summer workouts so far?
It's definitely low, but there are some days that are like better than others.
Yeah.
I think mainly if someone's home and not on vacation, they'll go. They can go.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, you get out of it what you put into it. So, I mean, I think the girls probably recognize that it's in their best interest to get out there. So, all right. So, let's talk a little bit about softball. So, this was potentially your last season of softball because you want to concentrate a little bit more on field hockey. And you guys just won the championship last weekend. Lost only one game, and that was the first championship game of your playoff tournament. Other than that, you'd gone undefeated up until then. Forced a second game, and then you guys won the championship in the second game. So I know we got to go to one of your preseason games while we were up here the last time, and you guys didn't think that you were going to have a really good year, and then you go out and run the table in the regular season and win the championship tournament. So what changed? What went from not thinking you're going to have a really good season to going out there and winning the championship?
I think that definitely we just, after like that scrimmage that we had, we all realized like we were putting too much pressure on ourselves, and we were just there to have fun, and all we needed to do was have fun. And then we really kind of connected after that, and we created group chats and like talked to each other. And I think it was like a lot of us like haven't really talked to each other before, so we didn't work well. Like, it was kind of hard to like get in the groove of working together. And we all did have our off moments, but like no one blamed anyone for anything, and we just went out to play softball.
Yeah, and I think that's so important. Again, like we talked about with your field hockey team chemistry is so important. And it's funny how you said that when you guys took the pressure off yourselves, you actually started to perform. And isn't that so true just in sports and in life in general? When you're overthinking things, and the biggest battle is the one between your ears before you get out there. So when you guys were kind of like, look, let's just go out and have fun, it lifted that pressure and you just went out and were able to do your job. Was there any one member of the team who was kind of like, look guys, let's just have fun and enjoy it, or did it just kind of happen organically?
Is definitely like organically, like, but there were like a few people, like our catcher for most of the year, when we had like 3 catchers, but the one was usually on third, and then the one had like travel and stuff, so she couldn't make all the games. So our main catcher, I would say, she definitely would be like, come on guys, you all got this. Like, she'd be cheering us on from behind the plate. Like, after every ball, she'd tell our pitcher, like, just breathe, calm down, erase everything from your head, that type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, a catcher always is, almost another member of the coaching staff. So I know for back in my coaching days, the teams that I had the most success with were the teams that had a good catcher who was a natural leader, who would, like you said, calm the pitching staff down, keep everybody focused. That's a huge asset for you guys to be able to have a great catcher like that. So pretty cool for sure. So over the years, during your softball career, you had the benefit of meeting people like Jenny Finch and Leo, Brian Amico, and some other people, Tony Mascarenas and Crystal Bustos at some of the camps that we used to do at the complex. Tell me what it was like for you as a young player to be exposed to, players of that caliber. And obviously you had a little bit of a inside track because I had personal relationships with all of them, so it wasn't like you just going through the camp, you got to hang out with them a little bit as well. So, what type of advantage did that give you throughout your softball career?
It kind of like helped me like understand what was like in the future and like what I had to work towards. And it was fun.
And I think that stuff, when you learn from athletes that caliber, regardless of what sport you're in, it has a positive effect on you for sure. Understanding the commitment and things like that it takes to get to that level is pretty cool. And I know back a couple months ago, you were kind of like nervous about telling me that this might be your last year of softball, because you know how much I like baseball and softball. And when you told me, I was like, you're like, you're going to be upset. And I was like, I'm not upset, because like I told you then, I mean, I just want you to have a passion, and whether that's passion is field hockey or softball or something else. Did that surprise you with that answer when I told you that day?
It did. I mean, I was definitely not expecting because you've always helped me with softball, and I definitely was not expecting that.
Well, like I said, I always want you to have your passion, and just because baseball and softball were my passion doesn't mean that it has to be your passion. So hopefully some of the things I taught you in softball will carry over into field hockey or whatever else you want to do, because all those are life lessons that don't just carry out on the softball field themselves. They can work out anywhere else. So one last thing I want to talk to you a little bit about. Another thing we have in common is our writing. Obviously I've published one book and getting ready to publish the second one, and I guess, I don't know, about a year and a half ago, you showed me one of your first little short stories, and I told you how impressed I was with your writing ability at that time. What is it that makes you enjoy writing? Because you're more in the fiction realm of the stuff that you've written, but it's very good. But tell me a little bit about what drives that.
Definitely, I think I've gotten it from like reading books that are like, they take me to a whole nother reality, and watching movies and stuff, and sometimes I just want to create like my own reality. So by writing, it kind of helps me like get out of like this reality almost, because like I did a lot of the writing at school, and school was definitely hard this year with certain things, and it just kind of helped me relax and create a little reality.
No, I understand that completely, because for me, writing is very therapeutic. Again, even though I'm not really writing fiction, other than when it's kind of fiction when I write through Uke, when he's giving me messages to write down. It's a little fiction there, but most of my stuff is more, real life experiences. But it is very therapeutic to sit there in front of the computer and write this down and share your thoughts. And then, the understanding that, when someone else reads that, they could be inspired is very, very cool as well. So I hope you keep writing, because I think you're very talented there. And, I hope that, and whatever you choose, if this is your last year of softball, that's great. If you decide to keep playing rec ball just for fun, that's great too. And hopefully have a great high school field hockey year. So we're just about out of time, so it brings us to our final question. As you know, the subtitle of the podcast is Many Little People in Many Little Places, which comes from the opening lyrics of a Michael Franti song, which go, when many little people in many little places do many little things and the whole world changes. So what are one of the little things that Lil does on a daily basis to just make the world a little bit better place?
I would say that whether I am having a internal thing or whatever, argument or something, I will always end up doing the right thing.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a great theory to live by, for sure. Because again, there's a lot of people out there in the world who don't necessarily do the right thing when they have the opportunity. So that's awesome. So I thank you for taking the time, for joining me. Like I said, you're the second grandchild to be on the podcast, and appreciate you taking the time. Appreciate that your mom and dad let us camp out here in the yard, and looking forward to spending the next week at Knoebels with you guys and having some fun. So thank you very much, and Uke thanks you for paying attention to him when he's here. He was getting a little rowdy there midway through the podcast. I don't know what he saw over there, but he seems to be calmed down now. So thanks again. Appreciate you being on the show. Folks, for everybody out there listening, be sure to check out my blogs and my other podcasts at danclouser.com. Thanks again, Lo, for joining me.